With the coronavirus pandemic, we are facing a new world with major changes both in our lifestyle and in our job schedules. How could we adapt, keep healthy, and perhaps resist and prevent the disease? In this video, I'm going to suggest a new approach from which both corporations and employees can benefit in this new world we find ourselves in. So stick around. You don't want to miss anything. Even after we overcome the pandemic, there has been a change in our lives for which there is no return, especially when it comes to the workplace and our daily routines. For those of us in the OMAD regimen, there will be many benefits. Let me show you how to adapt to the new reality and simultaneously adjust to the new OMAD regimen. But before I do that, please be sure to click on the subscribe button below and click on the bell so you won't miss anything. Over the last few years, I have developed a new lifestyle that consists of an early morning workout, a meal a day, OMAD, in the middle of the morning, and a work at home afternoon and evening. It turns out that working out in deep fasting stimulates autophagy, which is the intracellular recycling system. Among the benefits of autophagy is the resistance to some viral infections. Autophagy might help resist the coronavirus infection as well. In a recent video, I told you about the resistance to viruses through autophagy, which may be promoted by OMAD. In another video, I cited the difficulties in making OMAD the routine for most people in today's society. If you have a regular job, do you commute after workout? And then, do you have your only meal at work? Or do you wait to eat at home with your family? Ironically, since that last video, it seems our world has been transformed. Now, with the coronavirus pandemic, we are facing a change in the world that will affect us for months or even longer. The most obvious change is the quarantine due to the virus spreading so quickly. Once we return to work, corporations are bound to consider flex time a priority. That is, leave it up to the employees to decide a good working schedule that could fit the new lifestyles we are likely to see as a consequence of the pandemic. Some employees have already been asked to work from home. Just weeks ago, that would have been thought impossible. The lack of flex time would force employees in OMAD to have their one meal in a workplace cafeteria or lounge. Now, it is questionable whether a meal in any cafeteria or restaurant is even a good idea. Working from home, employees may have the flexibility to work out and eat before work. Thanks to technology, we can have teleconferencing with our bosses and produce reports without ever leaving our homes. That would make OMAD accessible to people that would have avoided it because of the demands of the job. In a previous video, I touched on the benefits of early time restricted feeding before 2 p.m. in the afternoon. In another video, I showed how an early OMAD may promote the secretion of human growth hormone. There is really no wrong way to do OMAD, so how you adapt to it is entirely up to you. But I have to recommend the early meal and even earlier fasted workout. Today I had a feel of the new reality when I saw many empty shelves in my local supermarket here in California. This means that the abundance we have been used to for decades may be coming to an end. Ironically, the shelves that were empty were those of carbohydrates like flour, rice, and sugar. I don't believe in fear or panic as a motivator, but the current situation may be the catalyst for a transformative OMAD regimen for most of us. I have been doing OMAD since 2009 and now I'm adapted to it as my lifestyle. This is why I am inclined to help others ease their minds about OMAD. Some of them might decide that OMAD is a good approach to resist disease and prepare for a temporary scarcity. Avoiding 3 meals a day may be a good thing, not only to reduce body weight, but also to promote autophagy and to tap into our body fat for energy. Ketones, the metabolites resulting from fat mobilization, are the most efficient energy source. Ketones are the ideal source of energy for the brain, the heart, and the skeletal muscles. Thus, our mental and physical performance could easily exceed all previous standards. We could be more productive, not only because of our performance, but because we'll spend less time cooking. Now, how do we ease into OMAD? After all, we have been eating 3 meals a day and occasional snacks most of our lives. It is not that difficult, really. In my case, I simply used a little determination, desperate as I was to change my life. If you could commit to 21 days of continuous OMAD, your metabolic switch will be complete and you will never look back. Fortunately, you don't have to go into OMAD immediately, although I recommend highly that you do. You will have the rest of your life to delight on the physical changes and any intermittent fasting form will do. If you don't think you can enter the OMAD regimen from the start, begin by delaying your breakfast and having your dinner earlier. This way you can increase your fasting window at your own pace. At first, you may reach the 18-6 intermittent fasting routine. You will find that breakfast is unnecessary. This is because early in the morning we have a spike in human growth hormone. It promotes both lipolysis or fat mobilization and gluconeogenesis, or the glucose production from fat in the liver. This means that our liver makes us breakfast. Instead of breakfast, do your workout in the morning to further promote human growth hormone and autophagy. Yes, exercise such as high-intensity interval training combined with fasting is a powerful promoter of lipolysis and autophagy. This is especially true if you work out 18 hours after your last meal. Doing this will also keep you in ketosis, which has a great effect both in your brain and your muscle. Then you can slowly reduce the window between lunch and dinner until you reach 1 meal a day. If flex time becomes the norm, we should be able to go to work after an early morning workout and a late morning OMAD. Once adapted, we will experience a greater mental productivity, physical performance and appearance, and abundant health. Perhaps we will be able to avoid the coronavirus infection and resist chronic diseases such as diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. We might be able even to keep our wits about us in the supermarket. We will be confident that we're equipped to fast for an indefinite period of time. This is Juan Sarmiento reminding you that life is looking up. Thank you.